All right, what's your order?
I'm going to go on case in the order of inherency, archetypes, militarized humanitarianism, solvency, then onto the narratives flow, then politics and cap.
Okay.
Is everyone ready?
Yes.
Right. Okay, first of all, extend the fact that true decriminalization is impossible, and like that was Jeffrey's intent due to the fact that like again you can't truly like decriminalize it, and also the current forms of legalization like just perpetuate the same violence that is trying to be avoided by it, due to the fact that police can actually like abuse their power and still use their their selective reasoning to harass prostitutes, and also like they completely conceded our whole archetype advantage. It literally talks about how like including the stories of prostitutes, opening up the space for them to actually be able to talk is key to breaking down the stigmas that are associated with them. Again, time and time again, they said, oh, this doesn't solve for it. But again, you're allowing these people who are disenfranchised to be included in the conversation, to actually explain where they're coming from, actually have a say in the legislation that will ultimately affect them, which is crucial. It's crucial to break down those.
Okay. Also, the cards are saying we're basing our case on one narrative.
There's basically it's key to breaking down the stigmas, and once we unless we break down the stigmas, we can't. It just those stigmas re-entrench that sort of mindset, re-entrenches stereotypes and exclusionary stereotypes, and just re-entrenches racism, and that was our purport to evidence. And also, with regards to militarized humanitarianism, again, they completely just unaddress this. The whole mentality, the good versus evil, just sets up this idea that we that prostitutes are damsels in distress, and this sort of mentality just allows for all the types of impacts. Again, we invaded Iraq with a claim that we were looking for nuclear weapons. Why didn't we stay there to quote unquote protect the women? And it's just that sort of deal. That mentality just justifies endless violence and endless wars. That was our Mohanty evidence, and which also went completely unaddressed. Moving on to the solvency, again, they said that the status quo doesn't solve, but again, our Kuhn 5 evidence specifically talks about how prostitutes are currently excluded, and that is the reason why why it is an issue in the status quo. They also talk about how they extended the fact that legalization increases trafficking and how legalization increases violences against women. But again, my partner in the last speech talked specifically about how unionizing was key to be able to solve for the issues. That was our Bamber and Marjorie evidence that talks about how collectives are key, coalitions are key to prevent the exclusion from the system by allowing them to unionize, you're allowing them to participate well into the system and actually get across their points. And also our that's 97 evidence for the safe solvency flow applies to this. And I talk specifically about how allowing them to unionize fights facilitator abuses, and they're saying that just legalization increases the violence. But again, no, you're allowing prostitutes to be able to unionize. You're allowing them to actually work together against first of all regulations are being placed on the facilitators, so they're able to actually combine together and have their voices heard with regards to these issues. Moving on to the narratives, again, they're saying that narratives are bad, but again, across our Halusho evidence that talks specifically about that, the fact that they need to be included in this discussion. They need to be included to actually affect change, to change these stigmas, to clarify the stigmas that currently exist in the status quo, to stop the mentality that we can just go in and engage people in war and just do all these atrocious things because of these just generated perceptions. We need to actually open up the space to be able to clarify the stigmas. And they're saying that narratives are self-serving and that they're bad in debate rounds. They're basically pretending that we're not predicating our whole affirmative off of one narrative. We're literally talking about how the inclusion of prostitutes in specifically talking about how policy needs to include prostitutes. They need to be allowed to unionize. It needs to actually they need to be able to have a say. and the policy that affects it. And on there, moving on to politics, and again, this is like basically just goes, just like again reifies the fact that we need to. They're like again just smoke screening out these narratives due to the fact that they're self-serving or whatever. And like we actually need to like include them in the discussion. With regards to politics, they honestly like did not extend anything. Don't do any of the work for them. They didn't extend an impact, no, nothing to politics. So yeah, moving on to the capitalism critique. All right, so extend the fact that our Wilson in 5 evidence that cap is inevitable. They never like fully address this. It's like human nature has existed ever since the beginning of time. You can see it in like just dominations of like in like nature. Like there's always going to be the alpha and a pack.
So they didn't read an answer to that until their class.
Also, yeah.
They could have read it in the block.
They also could have read an answer to that in the block, but they like didn't. So like don't even give them weight on that. And they're saying that the discourse of the app that like it comes down to like the methodology. Again, like we have the best discourse. Like there's due to the fact that we're like actually like trying to include people and solve for like these huge issues of structural violence. And they're saying that we can't perm because. They basically said we can't perm. But again, the reason we can't perm is because we should do what's morally best. Like again, it's a methods it's a debate of methods. So again, extend the perm, do the plan, non-competitive parts of the dance of the all. There's no reason why we can't just legalize prostitution, include them in the discussion, generate the positive change, and then change the way we view things. So the perm's still solved. We can still try to affect positive change, and then take a next step to reevaluate. Again, they conceded the fact that there's no root cause, that capitalism is not the root cause to everything, that went completely unaddressed. And so yeah, basically we need to like include the bodies and not just like smoke screen away the voices of the disenfranchised.